What's up, punks? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I put everybody back in their prime, and I'm going to be doing a fantasy draft, and I'm going to see where everybody ends up. Then I'll be simulating a few seasons, probably like 2 or 3, and I'm going to be seeing what happens with everybody, and where they go, where they end up, and what teams win the championship, and just what teams look like. And I downloaded this roster, so I didn't make it, but like everybody's in their prime. I don't know how accurate like the primes are with their overalls, but I think it'll be just fine. So I'm just gonna start the fantasy draft. I'm just gonna sim the entire thing, and I'm not picking anybody, and I'm just gonna see where everybody ends up, and then I'll just start simulating, and then we'll go over the teams first, then I'll start simulating. So everything will be completely random. I will not be doing anything, so I'm just in control of the Bulls because why not? And so they could do whatever they want. They could make trades, they could do whatever they want without me saying no. So they could just, sure, if they want to make trades. And now let's look at the roster of every single team. Starting off with the Philadelphia 76ers, we have Kevin Durant, Rudy Gobert, and John Wall as the big three. Very interesting. I don't know how accurate these overalls are. I don't know if Rudy Gobert was a really 90 overall, but I'm sure the person who made this roster just found the best version of them and put them in. So I forgot who made it, but shout out to you. And then they have Jeremy Grant, Jordan Clarkson, Aaron Gordon, Tristan Thompson, Gary Trent Jr., and whoever. I'm not going to go through everybody on the team, but I'll go through maybe like 5 or 6 players, depending how far I want to go on the team. But now the Milwaukee Bucks, they keep Giannis, so that's good. And they also get Kemba Walker. They get DeAndre Jordan, Keldon Johnson, Gary Harris, Dylan Brooks, Onyeka Okongwu, and alright, pretty solid team. I do really like this. And then the Chicago Bulls, they have Chris Paul, Chris Middleton, they keep Andre Drummond. I'm just assuming, like, the rosters they have now. They have Thaddeus Young, he played for the Bulls, yeah, I think he did back in like 20, yeah, he did actually. They get Rashawn Holmes and Jaden Ivey, awesome. And then, yeah, pretty good team. And then the Cavs, they have Cat, Julius Randle, Mike Conley, Colin Sexton, he goes back to the Cavs, Jonathan Isaac, Malik Beasley, and then Markelle Fultz, and then whoever else. I see Lou Dort down there as well. And then Boston, they have Paul George, Victor Oladipo, Hassan Whiteside, Tyrese Maxey, Fred VanVleet, and Harrison Barnes, and then whoever else is on this team. And then the Clippers have Carmelo, CJ McCollum, D'Angelo Russell, Brook Lopez, Wendell Carter Jr., Dennis Schroeder, and Jakob Poeltl. And then Memphis, they keep Ja Morant. I didn't choose anybody. You saw me simulate. They have Andre Iguodala. He was on here for a little bit, for like a day, I'm pretty sure. He got signed here, he never played, and then he got waived. Right? Andre Drummond was on the Grizzlies for like a little bit, but he never played. And then they have DeAndre Ayton, Christian Wood, Sadiq Bey, Bull, and Cam Thomas. Atlanta, they have Nikola Jokic, Kristaps, Desmond Bane, Danilo Gallinari, Goran Dragic, Spencer Dinwiddie, and yeah, cool. Miami has Kawhi, and they have Rajon Rondo, prime Rondo with Kawhi, interesting. They also have Paolo, Karis LeVert, Mitchell Robinson, and his Freedom, Bones Highland, and whoever else. They have Patrick Williams. And then the Charlotte Hornets, they have Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton, so they have something to look forward to in their franchise now. They also have Eric Bledsoe, Yusuf Nurkic, Josh Giddey, and Jalen Duren. And then the Jazz have LeBron. They have Darius Garland, Scotty Barnes, Derek Favors, Anthony Simons, Trey Jones, and Dario Saric. And then the Sacramento Kings, they have Boogie. Awesome, Boogie's back. And they have Blake Griffin, Ben Simmons, Jordan Poole, Cole Anthony, and PJ Washington. Man, this team is interesting. Ben Simmons, Jordan Poole, Blake Griffin, and DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins is going to absolutely kill Ben Simmons and Jordan Poole. And then, I don't know what he's going to do with Blake Griffin. I feel like he's going to be fine with Blake Griffin. But DeMarcus Cousins is just going to get rid of Ben Simmons and Jordan Poole because he doesn't want him on the team. New York, they have Derrick Rose, Al Horford, Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Kuzma, Avery Bradley. I feel like Avery Bradley was a little high overall than 82, but I don't know. Maybe he was, I don't know, maybe he was around this. I feel like it was like an 83 or an 84, but I don't know. I didn't make the roster, so I don't know where he got these overalls from. I'm assuming he just went to the all-time teams or just wherever, something like that. They also have Emmanuel Quickly, who's staying in New York. And cool. Moving on, we have the Lakers, who have Jimmy Butler, LaMarcus Aldridge, Jalen Brunson, Tyler Hero, Bobby Portis, Chris Boucher, Marcus Smart, Josh Richardson, and Josh Hart. So, interesting. I guess they put all the free agents and all that back in their prime, too. I mean, it did say everyone in their prime, so... Zion's on the Magic with Anthony Edwards, RJ Barrett, Nick Claxton, and Lonzo. I like that. I like the starting lineup a lot. And then they also have like Kyle Anderson, Trey Murphy, and D'Anthony Melton. Mavericks have Joel Embiid, Rudy Gay, Tobias Harris, Malcolm Brogdon, and Devin Vassell, and then whoever else. And then the Nets have Luka Doncic, Vooch, Zach LaVine, Miles Bridges, Otto Porter, Joe Ingles, Greg Monroe. Greg Monroe, forgot about him. And then whoever else. And then the Denver Nuggets have DeMar, Bradley Beal, Jamal Murray, Clint Capella, George Hill, Joe Harris, Jonathan Kuminga, and whoever else, like Terry Eason. And then the Pacers have Steph Curry, Bam, John Collins, Lance Stevenson, who's back. Awesome. And they have Buddy Hield, who's staying here, Kelly Oubre, Jay Crowder, Ricky Rubio, Nerlens Noel, and whoever else. The Pelicans have Trae Young, Jaylen Brown, Alperen Sengun, Lou Williams, Franz Wagner, Evan Fournier, and Keegan Murray, and Patrick Beverley. Awesome. And then they have the Pistons have Shea, Mikal Bridges, Evan Mobley, TJ Warren, Udonis Haslem, and Austin Rivers, and James Wiseman. And then the Raptors have Kyrie, Joe Johnson, Steven Adams, Cade Cunningham, Marvin Bagley, and Walker Kessler, and Cam Johnson and Wesley Matthews. And then the Rockets have Dwight Howard, Isaiah Thomas, Brandon Ingram, Jalen Williams, Reggie Jackson, Kevin Huerter, Terrence Ross, and Darren Collison. And then the Spurs have Dame, Pascal Siakam, Gordon Hayward, Serge Ibaka, Terry Rozier, Mason Plumlee, and Rodney Hood, who I forgot about. And then the Phoenix Suns have Russ, Jaren Jackson Jr., Eric Gordon, Miles Turner, Benedict Mathurin, Michael Carter-Williams, James Johnson, AJ Griffin, and whoever else. And then they've Chet too. I see Chet. He's down there. And then Oklahoma has Anthony Davis, De'Aaron Fox, Jalen Green, Michael Porter Jr., and Jabari Parker. That's a really interesting lineup right there. And then they also have Kenyon Martin Jr., Jackson Hayes, Dennis Smith Jr., Jeremy Sohan, and Javonte Green. And then the Minnesota has Devin Booker, Domantas Sabonis, Drew Holiday, Lauri Markkanen, who's back on the Timberwolves. He was drafted by them and then traded to Chicago. But, yeah, he never really played for them. Yeah, he got drafted and then he was traded to Chicago. Yeah, and then they have Brandon Knight. Awesome. It's so cool that you selected Brandon Knight. And then they have Brandon Clark, Jared Vanderbilt, Daniel Tice, and whoever. Portland has Clay, Kevin Love, DeJounte Murray, Jared Allen, Bojan Bogdanovic, Devontae Graham, and Bogdan, Taj Gibson, and Tim Hardaway Jr. And then the Warriors have James Harden, Paul Millsap, LaMelo Ball, Robert Williams III, OG Anunoby, Thomas Bryant, Alex Caruso, and Cam Reddish. And then the Wizards have Donovan Mitchell, Draymond Green, Kyle Lowry, Jonas Valanciunas, Kevin Porter Jr., and DeAndre Hunter, and Obi Toppin. So put down in the comments below who you think is going to win the NBA championship. I think I'm going to go, maybe, should I just go one season? I'm going to do 1 or 2 seasons. I'm just going to go 2, I think. And then just see if there's any, like, free agents that go anywhere, like Kyle Lowry and then whoever else. So I'm going to go 2 seasons and that's it, because I've already spent 10 minutes going over the teams and all that. So if the first season is crazy good, then I might just stop there, but we'll see. I'm going to start simulating, and I'm going to go to the probably All-Star break. Now look at this. We have Shea winning MVP, averaging 34, 6, and 9. This is crazy. Shea on the Pistons winning MVP. Paolo Rookie of the Year. Markelle Fultz wins Sixth Man of the Year. Dwight Howard wins Defensive Player of the Year. 22, 15, and 3 blocks a game, also with 1.5 steals a game, 7% from 3. So he hit some threes, and he's back on the Rockets. Cool. And then Alperen Sengun is Most Improved Player. He usually does get that. And then Steve Kerr is Coach of the Year. 47 and 35 winning Coach of the Year. I mean, every team is like has a superstar, so not every team, not like there's not going to be a team that's winning 70 games. So Yeah, awesome. Shea, Luka, LeBron, Giannis, Nikola Jokic on the first team. Then we have Ja Morant, James Harden, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, and Dwight Howard on the second team. And then we have Russ, John Wall, Kawhi, Kevin Love, and Bam on the third team. All defensive teams, we have John Wall, Ben Simmons, LeBron, Draymond, and Dwight Howard. On the second team, we have Chris Paul, Russ, Kawhi, Paul George, and Anthony Davis. Here's the rookie teams. It'll just be like how it usually is. And then let's look at these standings really quick, and then we'll look at the just the league leaders and all of that. So let's look at these standings. The best team in the East was the Detroit Pistons. They were 51-31. And then yeah, you can look at the rest. Indiana Pacers are second. I'm already forgetting who's on each team, but yeah, hopefully you guys remember. And then the worst team was the New York Knicks. They were 30-52. That was the worst. They have Derrick Rose. That's all I remember. They're the worst team in the East. And then let's look at the West. It's San Antonio with a 49-33 record. Portland is second. And then Golden State. Steve Kerr won Coach of the Year, and he was 47-35. And then it goes down here. Let's look at the worst team was Oklahoma. They were 34-48. All right. And yeah, so Shea won MVP because he had the best team in the entire NBA, so that makes sense. And then let's get to the playoffs. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go a couple seasons. I think I'll go like 2, maybe. I'll just go 2, just because I don't want to go too long, and I don't feel like it. So let's just see who wins this NBA championship. We got Shea moving on, and no, because he was on the Pistons. So we have James Harden versus Jason Tatum in the NBA Finals. It's Warriors versus Hornets. Let's just see what the matchup is looking like. And right now, who do you think is going to win this NBA championship right here? Tyrese versus LaMelo, Josh Giddey versus James Harden, Jason Tatum versus OG Anunoby, Jabari Smith versus Paul Millsap, and then Yusuf Nurkic versus Rob Williams. So let's just see. Let's go game by game. Hornets take game 1 and game 2. Warriors take game 3, Hornets take game 4, and game 5, it's a Warriors win. Game 6, it's a Hornets win. Hornets take it in 6. Jason Tatum is Finals MVP. So let's just take a quick view of each team, and let's just see if any players moved around. I could see Philadelphia has Seth Curry, but they keep their main guys of Kevin Durant, Rudy Gobert, and John Wall. So yeah, awesome. I'm just going to see if there's any major differences in each team, and I know there's going to be some players that regress, but that's alright. Keldon Johnson goes up. Do they add anybody else? Does not look like it. Chris Paul's still here. Chris Middleton, he was here. Jaden Ivey goes up to an 85. And I'm just, like I just said, I'm looking for major differences in these teams. If there's not, then I'm not going to do anything. Colin Sexton, he was here. Yeah, this team is the same. Tyrese Maxey's here now. Julius Randle, he was in Cleveland. It says he was in Cleveland, now he's in Boston. Blake Griffin, he was in Sacramento. Kristaps, you were in Atlanta, now you're here. Herb Jones is here, maybe he was already here. So Boston changed up. They made some changes. Tyrese was here, but now they have Julius Randle and Blake Griffin and Kristaps. I know Blake Griffin was in Sacramento. And then Anthony Davis is still here. No, he joined the Clippers. He was in Oklahoma. So that's how it changed. They have D'Angelo now. I think he was already here. Wendell Carter was here. And then who did they lose? They had another big name. Who did they lose? I don't know. Ja Morant's still here. DeAndre Ayton is still here. RJ Barrett is now here. He came from Orlando. Now they have Michael Porter Jr., who got traded actually from OKC, so I don't know how they got him, who they traded, and all of that. So cool. And who did the Atlanta Hawks make any big trades? They traded for Eric Bledsoe. They have Desmond Bane, and I think they made a few changes. But yeah, they got Eric Bledsoe now. And then the Heat, they got Mitchell Robinson going up. They have Paulo. I think someone left this team. Did Bam? No, where was Bam? Bam wasn't here. I thought Bam was here for some reason, but I think they lost somebody. Wait, Kyle Lowry was here, right? Or he was somewhere. I don't know. I'm not keeping up. I'm forgetting where players went. Now the Hornets have Russ. He was on Phoenix, so very, very good addition. But I don't know how it's gonna work with Tyrese and Russ. All right, we'll see. Tyrese he's on 91 now. Alright, let's just, like, keep glancing through if they made any big changes. So the Kings didn't replace Blake Griffin with anybody, so they just have Jordan Poole and Ben Simmons just still running it back. New York has Melo now, so Melo joined the Knicks again. And then they have Rudy Gay, who was not here. And then, was Al Horford here? Was Al Horford here? Yes, he was. I'm forgetting who was here and who wasn't. And they also have Tim Rose, who's going to be pretty solid. And then, this team is looking the same. Zion's in Orlando now. He was here. Anthony Edwards, he's here. Andre Iguodala's here now. So he got traded to OKC. Interesting. And now he's on the Magic. Awesome. And then I'll try to make this a little quicker, just to see if any major changes happened. Kyle Lowry, you were in Washington actually. That's where you were. Now you're on the Nets. Anybody else that like left or just switched teams? Does not look like it. Where was Steph Curry? He was in Indiana before. Anybody else that moved? I just want to look. I just want to make sure that. Does not look like it. Actually, Paul George, you were in Boston. Now you're in Toronto with Kyrie. And then they have Cade, who was here before. And then Dwight Howard, Isaiah Thomas. This team looks the same. Dame on the Spurs. Pascal here. Gordon Hayward. This team is the same. Jaren is on the Suns now. He already was. Rondo was on Miami. Now he's in Phoenix. Andre Drummond, he were in Chicago. And then, who else? Victor Oladipo's now here. Jalen Green was here. And then De'Aaron Fox, you were here. Anybody else that moved? CJ McCollum's now in Minnesota. Lauri Markkanen is still here. DeJounte Murray, were you in? You were in Portland. Klay Thompson, you were here. Yeah, alright. I don't really care anymore about these changes. LaMelo, you were here. James Harden, you were here. Paul Millsap, you were here. Alright, yeah, these look the same. Draymond and Donovan Mitchell were here. Yeah, these teams look. There's a few major and minor changes throughout the league. And who do you think is going to win the championship this year? So I'm going to see you guys at the end of the season. So Steph Curry wins MVP, averaging 35 and 9 a game, 44% from 3. Impressive stuff. Tim Rose wins Rookie of the Year. Awesome. Cole Anthony is Sixth Man of the Year. LeBron is Defensive Player of the Year. He had a really good season, about 39 and 10. And then Mark Williams is Most Improved Player, about 10 and 7.5. And then Dwayne Casey is Coach of the Year. Awesome. Amazing. Here's the All-NBA teams if you want to look at them. All-NBA second team, All-NBA third team, and here's the defensive teams. Here's the second team. So cool. We have James Harden on there. Okay. And let's see. We have. I'm just looking at the standings and stats. Last season I didn't look at the. I completely forgot to look at the who was leading in points and all that, but that's all right. The Bucks are number 1 in the East. They were 59 and 23. They were tied with Detroit, and then Indiana was third, and then they got the rest. Who was the worst? It was Washington, 24 and 58, and then in the West, the Lakers were 51 and 31, and then the Warriors were second. They were 49 and 33, and then the worst was San Antonio, where they're 23 and 59. So. Yeah, awesome. And this roster was made a while ago, so it doesn't have Victor and all of them in there. And yeah, so let's actually look at the season stats for everyone. Let's see who was averaging the most. It was Steph Curry averaging the most. I mean, he won MVP, so you saw his stats. Dame was second. A lot of guys averaged 29 or above, and then Zion averaged 28. These stats are crazy. Yeah. Here's the stats if you just want to take a glimpse at them. If you just want, I'll just show the top 10, or here's the top 9 or 10 if you want to look at them. And then yeah, cool, awesome. And then let's just simulate the playoffs and let's see what goes on here. And to Milwaukee, they're number 1. I forgot who they had. They still have Giannis, right? And then we have Jason Tatum versus Jimmy Butler. Awesome. Jason Tatum back in the finals, and he sweeps Jimmy Butler. Jason Tatum wins Finals MVP. And I think I'm going to stop there. I think I'm just going to stop there. I don't feel like going any longer. 2 years was good enough. And that's all, you guys. That's all I have for you guys if I put everybody back in their primes. and I put them in a fantasy draft. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure you guys leave a like and hit the subscribe button, because we're getting very close to 400 subscribers. So why don't you guys leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.